Alexis, Monique, thank you so much for having me here in your kitchen.
My pleasure. We're excited.
I hear, Monique, you are the queen of latkes.
That is my claim to fame.
So what is a latke for people who don't know?
A latke basically is just a potato pancake. That's really all it is, and it's deep fried. That's the key.
Okay, and is it a staple in the Jewish culture when it comes to cuisine at Hanukkah?
Hanukkah, yes, 100%. That is our main staple.
Are you a fan, Alexis?
I love them.
Why do Jewish people eat latkes at Hanukkah?
So during Hanukkah, it's a tradition to eat an oily food. Over 2,000 years ago, the Maccabees, who were the great soldiers of Israel, defeated the Syrians and their evil king Antiochus. When they went back, their temple was destroyed and there was only a little bit of oil left. They used it to light a menorah, which is a candelabra, which we also use in our homes during Hanukkah. And the miracle was that there was only enough oil to last one day, but it lasted 8 days. So that's why we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days.
All right, and that's why it was a miracle.
Yep.
All right, thank you for that little history lesson, little religious lesson. What do we have to do to start the latkes?
So first thing we have to do, now I have to show you that this recipe book, this is like the joy of cooking for Jews, okay? Everybody uses this, the great-grandmothers, the boobies, everyone has this. So it's just the same recipe that I take out of the second helpings. And the first thing we have to do is start peeling those potatoes.
Okay.
We love the rotato. It speeds things up, especially when you're making 400 latkes during Hanukkah. So Alexis will get it started.
Oh, this is wild.
We finally got smart 2 years ago and started using this.
I was gonna offer to help, but look at that.
And then all you do is you clean up the edges and we're gonna pop them in.
The Rotato Express.
Best thing ever invented. So you got one. Each batch that we make is 6 potatoes. So we go batch by batch because you can't peel and shred early or the potatoes will get wet and it won't work.
Okay.
Well. So I'll clean up while we're
So
doing.
this is not something you can make in advance. And so how many latkes can you make in a batch for 6 potatoes?
I think we can probably pull out about, I don't know, maybe 15. We'll see how they come. Sometimes I make them too big, but for school I do 400, and it's a 12-hour process. But everyone gets involved. It's a family thing.
You make latkes every year for your kids' school?
Every year for my kids' school. They look forward to me coming in. What do the kids say, Alexis, the first day of school when they realize they have you or Spencer in their class?
They always ask me if you're bringing in latkes.
We fry it with oil, and the recipe also calls for oil, but I don't add as much as it says because it's basically sitting in oil.
And so you're just using a vegetable oil.
Yep. Okay, so now that those are done, before we put it in the food processor, we're going to make our mix. Okay, so we're going to do 3 eggs. Okay, I usually do just like a good handful of onions, a couple scoops. So this is just cooking onions. You can use cooking onions or white onions chopped fine, okay? Then we do baking powder, 2 teaspoons, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt. So I have it all just measured up. And I always leave it like this, just in bigger portions when I'm doing the 400 latkes, and we basically have all the bowls and we keep going. And then a tablespoon, it calls for 2, but we'll just do 1 tablespoon of oil, and then flour, a 1/4 cup. If you find your potatoes are very wet, you should add a little bit more flour.
Okay, now can you do me a favor, because you told me something that when you cut onions, I can't even say what I'm laughing. When you cut onions, there's a story here.
So there is a real story. So every year when I make latkes, I always send pictures or post on Facebook, and my friends could not believe what I had done, and I promised them today that I would show you what I do. So this is what Alexis and I do. When we chop onions, because believe it or not, the stinging comes from the fumes, we put on goggles, and then we take our onions that are here, and we seriously chop them with goggles on. And they're bedazzled. We like the Julie goggles.
You bedazzled your onion goggles.
No, they were already bedazzled.
Oh, there you go.
But then when you take them off, your makeup's intact, and you're normal again. So it is really I know it looks crazy.
That is the best tip
but
ever.
It really works. And
so when
it's
I'm
funny.
chopping onions with like scuba goggles, and my husband comes in
ski
and just saying,
yeah, ski goggles, scuba goggles.
Any
My
goggles
friends
work.
really didn't believe that I do it, but I do, and
right,
it works.
And now you got it on TV for
That's
proof.
it, right? Exactly. So I sort of just mix it around, and then we'll do the potatoes and just mush it all around. Okay, so let's go grate the potatoes.
And are you using a specific type of potato here?
No, russet.
A russet potato, so a dry potato.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to use the white; it's too wet. Now we'll mix it all in. See, it's already brown. Like you got to just do it so quick.
Yes.
So you can usually feel if there was a lot of potatoes, like it calls for 6 potatoes for a batch, but you can sort of see if those potatoes were too big and it's not wet enough, which I think we need some more onions for sure. Do you want to throw it another scoop there?
And I will help you up there.
That's good enough, yeah. Great. And I think it's pretty good. It looks like it's good consistency. So let's go test the oil. Take a little bit of flour. Yep, we're good.
All right.
All right, here we go. First batch. Sometimes the first batch doesn't come out good. So usually I always flip my latkes with 2 spoons because I don't want it, just in case they're not ready. It's the best actual tools to use. Okay, the part you have to do now is with your hands. And I sort of drop it in. And then Alexis's job, she goes around with the spoon and pushes it down.
Oh, so you're not making like a pancake to start and then
No.
dropping it in, you're putting it in
Like a blob.
like a blob.
A lot of people, when they make the latkes, they don't use it on this like setting of potato. It's not grated.
Then let's push it down.
Yeah.
So Hanukkah falls at a different time in the calendar every single year. This year it's late in the year.
Yeah, it's gonna be, I think, on Christmas Eve this time. So we're overlapping our holidays.
We're overlapping, which is all good. Are there kind of prime holidays? Is it like the first day or the last day that are the most important?
The first weekend usually we do, but every night we light the menorah.
So we light the menorah by using the shamash, and then you light each candle every day with the shamash.
And that's the center candle?
Yep.
All right.
There you have it. Here's the finished product, hot off the press. Monique's famous latkes. You can either eat them with sour cream
Or applesauce.
or both. So I want you guys to try it.
All right. Will you join me? I love all the little crispy bits on the sides.
Alexis, go for it.
Okay.
How do you like them, Alexis?
My favorite.
Sour
Put some
cream?
Sour cream.
And don't cheap out on the sour cream, full fat. Okay, you're already eating deep fried.
They're incredible.
You like those?
They're delicious. They're really, really good.
Good as always, Alexis. My best customer.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. You can come anytime for the holidays.
Oh, well, count me in. I will be here. Thank you. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you so much.
Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.